security to the Croatian port of Split. He went onto the Bosnian border where he handed out Christmas parcels to soldiers. Mr. Major said the British contribution was the backbone of the humanitarian effort in Bosnia. Some news just in Derbyshire. 4 firefighters have been taken to hospital suffering from hypothermia. They were trying to rescue 2 children who fell through ice on a pond near their home in Chesterfield. Police, divers and other firefighters are still trying to rescue the children. That's it. More news at 6 o'clock on BBC 1.
Good afternoon. There's a rather thin band of cloud running up through the Irish Sea across northern England and southern Scotland, but it's too thin to stop that patchy fog thickening up during this evening and more fog forming overnight. So more problems for travellers tonight. Dense freezing fog, a widespread frost and ice on the roads. Towards the end of the night, though, the breeze picking up in the far northwest of Scotland, the cloud thickening up there. Now, that cloud will thicken during the day tomorrow. It'll get windier later and eventually some rain getting into the far northwest of Scotland. For the rest of the British Isles, most places dry and bright, though in 1 or 2 places I think we're going to find that freezing fog lasting through the day, and where it does stick, temperatures won't get above freezing. And there's always the chance of the odd light wintry shower just running down the east coast. And that's the forecast.
And now the news of Wales with signing and subtitles. Good afternoon. The Conservative MP for Brecon and Radnor, Jonathan Evans, who legally represented one of the so-called Cardiff Three, says South Wales Police must now actively hunt Lynette White's killer. The men were freed by the appeal court after their convictions were quashed because of oppressive police questioning. But yesterday, the Chief Constable of South Wales, Robert Lawrence, said there were no plans to start a fresh investigation. South Wales Police are launching a fresh appeal for help in solving the murder of a Cardiff office worker 2 years ago. 26-year-old Geraldine Polk was repeatedly stabbed and sexually assaulted close to the Fairwater Leisure Centre. Detectives say the inquiry is still fully active. They've questioned nearly 27,000 people and eliminated more than 4,000 men through DNA and blood tests. Clwyd councillors are to lobby the Welsh Office over cuts of £12 million in the county budget, which they say will hit jobs and services. The council has strongly criticised Welsh Office spending limits, and Chief Executive Roger Davis says social services and education are likely to be hardest hit. Unions at Taff Merthyr Colliery in Mid Glamorgan have told the pit manager that they intend to restart production at the mine after yesterday's court ruling. They are now waiting for a response from British Coal and clarification from union legal advisers. 100 men have taken redundancy since the pit closure was announced in October. 200 remain, and the unions are confident that production can resume with the reduced workforce. Figures leaked to BBC Wales show that tooth decay amongst 5-year-olds on Anglesey has doubled since fluoride was withdrawn from their drinking water. Welsh Water withdrew the chemical more than a year ago because of a dispute over public liability. Now the Area Health Authority are pressing for fluoride to be reintroduced and plan to take their case to the Welsh Office. South Wales Transport says that gangs of vandals, including children as young as 5, have turned part of Swansea into a no-go area for buses. The company says it's been forced to reroute its nighttime services through the Cymru to Cairo area of Morriston after a series of attacks on their buses. SWT say the attacks have made travelling dangerous for drivers and passengers. Finally, a look at the weather prospects for tonight and tomorrow. There'll be mainly clear skies tonight, with frost becoming widespread as temperatures fall to -3 Celsius. Patchy freezing fog may form later. That will clear only slowly tomorrow to leave another dry day with some sunshine. It will be cold, with highest temperatures around 3 degrees Celsius, but winds will be light. Michael Heseltine says production won't be resumed at the 10 pits facing closure at the end of the month. Newsfile at 5 o'clock on Radio Wales will have more on the increasing pressure on the government to grant a stay of execution. And that's on Radio Wales, of course, beginning at 5 o'clock. Now it's time for some song and dance, and what better hoofers than Fred Astaire, Jack Buchanan and Sid Charisse to join us on the bandwagon.